Hello everyone, my name is Edward Amwakon and I welcome you to my channel. In this particular video, I'm going to walk you through step by step on how to design a funeral poster like what you see on your screen. And so don't forget that I will leave a link in the video description to have access to all the resources that I used. Okay, so once you click on the link, you have access to the resources, the fonts, everything that you need to do, the images, the vectors and everything. Okay, so without wasting my time, let's start. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is to create our new document. So come to File, New, and because we will print at the end of the design, don't forget that you will design it in CMYK. Okay, so that's the first thing that we need to do. And let's go to Print. Okay, so inside your new document we have recent, saved. So come to Print, and under Print you will see a lot of template sizes. So we are going in for A3, which is the same as A2 if you want to expand it. So let's select the A3 and change the color mode to CMYK, and then let's name this as funeral poster. So let's name this as funeral poster. That's it. Okay, then I think any other thing is okay, so go ahead and click on create, and there you go. Then let's activate our rulers. So here bring in the first ruler here, and this one to bring it somewhere close, and then let me bring this one to here. I mean, it's subjected to changes, so if anything we will change. Let me bring it somewhere close. So I think this is okay. So I'm going to design in this. Then let's go back to our resources. The first background that I'm bringing in is this, and then press on alternate and scale it to fill the entire space. Okay, and double click to accept. Then let's reduce the opacity to, let me say, I think 36. It's not bad. I think it's okay. I want something like whitish. Okay, and then go back to the resources again. I'm bringing in this Kente. So if you watch the initial video, the previous video on how to design the 1 week flyer, it is there. Okay, it is there. So double click this to accept. Come to the layer side of your element, right click on the Kente and then rasterize. Now what it means is that when you rasterize the layer, it gives you the ability to edit this particular layer. So come to your tools and look for eraser tool. Select that, which is the same as brush tool. If you see this plus icon, it means the caps lock is on. Turn the caps lock off. I think increase the size using the brackets. There is a bracket on your keyboard, so once you press on the bracket, you are where the one that is closer to the P. Okay, then let's brush the edges. We are brushing the edges a bit, okay, just to blend with that of the background. So we have something like this. I think this is okay, and then let me resize it. So I'm going to have something like this. All right, and then let's go back to the resources again, and this time around we are bringing in this, which looks like a cross. All right, then I want it to be on top of the download. Okay, so it will come on top of the first element. Oh yeah, then let me bring it closer to this and scale it. Wow, I want it to be like this, and rasterize this one as well, and we are going to blend it, fade some part of the edges off so that it will blend with that of the background. All right, so I think, yeah, so I have something like this, which is absolutely fine. Then go back and then let's resize or reduce the opacity to let's reduce it to 20 and see. Okay, so 20 is not bad. Then we are creating the background. So background in funeral poster is very, very important. and then we are bringing in this element. All right, and then let me position it somewhere closer here, then reduce it. Okay, so this is quite beautiful. And let's bring in the image. So the image, either you bring Bishop Nyakon or you bring this one, but I'm going to use this one to design. Now, one thing that I will advise you to do is that when you are done with your background, I want us to do something. Once you are done with your background, I want you to group the background and then lock it. So let me double click to accept. Now this is what I want you to do. Now we are going to group, send this particular image on top of all the layers, then select all the 4 backgrounds that we brought, and then Control Gen to group it, and then double click this and name it as background. Okay, then let's lock it. You see this icon, lock icon here, click on it. Now it means that I have lock background. What it means is that I can't move these flowers unless I come and open the lock. That is one advantage thing that can help you. And then let me resize this image and then position it somewhere here. All right, so the rest that we are going to do is going to cater for the text. Okay, so let's go back to our design. So you could see from here that we have a life well lived, which I have given the document in the video description, so it's part of the resources. So we are going to use this, a life well lived, all the informations that you need, the name, the funeral arrangement. So you can use my own to do it. Okay, so all the information that you need to do, they are all here. All right, so I'll leave a link in the video description. Please, it's part of it. It is Mary Musa Funeral that I have named it. Okay, so let's move on to the next one now. So if you take a look at our design, you will see that the cross is on the left. All right, so let's go back and do that. So let me open the background. Okay, and then right click or press on Ctrl T on the keyboard, and then right click it and come to flip horizontal so that the cross will come to the other side. Okay, so let me bring it down. Okay, so let me bring it down, something like this, and then resize it. So I'm going to have something like this. Now I don't want the edges of the cross to show, so I'll go and pick my eraser tool again, and this time around I will take my time and just erase the edge so that it will blend with that of the background. So I'm going to have something like this, and then let me reduce the opacity again. All right, and then bring this one up. Let me bring the flower up a bit, and then bring this. Let me reduce the size of the flower. It looks too big for me. Okay, so something like this, and then let's increase the size of this image of the image. Okay, so here you go, and then here, a life well lived, all the information that you need. So this is what I did. What I mostly do is that I activate my rulers just to help me know where I will, put all my informations to. Okay, so let me show you how to do that. Okay, so just press on Ctrl 0 to zoom to fit, and bring in my ruler to, let's say, 1. All right, bring the ruler somewhere here, and the next thing is to bring in let's bring in the shape tool, and down here here is where we write all friends and sympathizers are cordially welcome. Now here I'm not going to make it too dark, so I'll go to my fill color and then come to this box here, and let's pick something like off-white. Okay, so yeah, I think this is okay. So the color is 262827. Okay, so you can just put in the color code here, and then you are good to go. Very good. I think this is okay for me. And let's go to our text tool, and this is going to be a life well lived. Okay, so let me go and select my text. The first text that I use, let me group and lock the background. So let me lock the background. Yeah, the text that I use, or the font, is after glow. Okay, and then this is going to be a life well. Okay, so as you can see, a life well, and then the lived is big. Okay, a life well. So let me bring it here somewhere. Let me bring it here. Yeah, and then copy, and this is going to be lived. And this one, come to my text. Let me bring in the character here and click on this. You see, in my Google character, there is this feature called A and A. There's an arrow here. You've seen it. You just click on that, and then you are going to see this, and then increase the size of the font. So we want it to cover the entire. So you can just put in 100, or it could be even be bigger than that. Yeah. So yeah. So I think this is fine. So let me zoom in. So it's Control 0 to fix. This is what you are going to say. And the next one, we are going to, let's go back. We are going to copy this. Okay, so I'm going to copy the entire up to beloved. Okay, and then come to copy. All that we are going to do is copy and paste. Then select my text tool, and then bring my text tool somewhere here. Don't bring it closer to a life well lived, so it will pick it up. So let me bring it down here, and then let me do this. So you are going to just do something like this, and then leave it. Now I'm going to deactivate this. I don't need this, and then change the font to Montserrat. And then with the Montserrat, we are going for regular. The size to pick 14. Okay, so let's pick 16 and see. And then now you can paste it. Control V to paste. And let me bring this. So once you are done, make sure that you click on this check mark, and then press on, go and select your move tool and bring it somewhere here. So you are going to have something like this. Okay, so let me shift my ruler closer a little bit, so that it will just, yeah, so it will go here. So this is what I'm going to have. Yeah, and then double click it, come to paragraph, and then let's see if you can put them. So if you check here, you can see that everything is aligned. Okay, so over here we are going to align everything as well. Okay, so we're going to do it something like this, and yeah, I think this is fine. Let me close it a bit, and then let me bring it down, and this is going to be 3 dots. Okay, so this is what I'm going to have. Yeah, I think this is okay. So as for funeral poster, let me shift this, and then let me increase the size of the image. It looks so small. And then a life well lived, that one too, I'll shift it up. Let me reduce the size of the kente. The kente looks kind of, it's showing too much. Okay, so let me reduce it. But before I do that, unless I go and unlock the background before I can reduce the kente a bit. I think this is okay. And then shift a life well lived up a bit, and then select this one, and then align it. Yes, so this is what I'm going to have. Let me shift it up a bit. Okay, yeah, and then shift this cross up a bit as well, and then let me increase the opacity. Let me leave it as 15. I think this is okay. Then let me bring in the name. So I'm going to copy a life well lived, or a life well, bring it here, and this, don't forget that the name is going to cater for this particular font, Anton. So this is going to be called Mary Musa. Okay, and then I'm going to align it, make sure that it's like this. Now I'm going to reduce the size. I see the size is too big. Let me align and then pick 14. Okay, and then let me I think this is okay. Bring it up. Yes, so we are picking 14 and then bring this up a bit. Very good. Good. Align. Now let me bring the image on top of the background. So now let me close the background because I'm done with the background. So let's take our time over here. Good. So now I've aligned everything. Okay, if you don't want to align this here, you can just go back to the first one, but any of them is absolutely correct. So and then let me shift this up a bit. If there is any change, we'll do that. So take a look at it. Okay, so let's bring this one down. So Oba opinion. Now with the Oba opinion, the font that I use, let me go back. The font that I used is Alice Dream, this particular font. And then let me reduce it. So it's going to be like this. Let me pick 72 and see. I think 72 is better. And then I'm going to copy the Oba opinion again, Ctrl J to copy it. And this is going to be the AKA Auntie Fatima, and close it up. And then we are going to reduce this to 48. So let me pick 45. And then select the Oba opinion, select the Mary Musa, align it. Over here, alignment works a lot. Alignment is going to work a lot. Okay, we're going to use alignment very well. And then let me bring this here. Now if you check our main design, so you could see 1946 to 2025, so you can make it 2026. All right, so let's do that one. So let me copy this again, and this is going to be 1946 to 2025. And this comes in two ways. It's either you use the age or you use the dates. Okay, I think any of them is good to go. Then select the Mansa or the Mary Musa, come to the FX. You are changing the color to gradient overlay, and as usual I've set it already. So if you have watched the previous video on the 1 week poster, you'll be able to do this. Okay, now I think this we are getting there. All right, we are getting there. So that's it, we are there. So the next thing that we are bringing in is the funeral arrangement. Okay, so let's do that one. So let me select my shape tool, and this is going to take my funeral arrangement, and I'll pick the color. So let me change the color, change this one, and come and pick. So we are changing the color. Come here and then put in this color code B2732A. B2732A. Click OK, and then go and select. So this is going to be the funeral arrangement. Okay, and let's copy this again, and this is going to be the laying in state and other details over there. So let me go back to my shape tool and align it here, and then you could see I'm going to curve the edges. Let's zoom in. I'm going to curve the edges. I want the edges to be curved. Okay, so let me all the edges. Okay, so something like this, and then let me make sure that everything is aligned. I want everything to be aligned. Then change this color Let me double click here, and then let me pick this particular color. Then let me shift this down. Yeah, and then let me bring this down a bit. Good. So this is going to be my funeral arrangement. Okay, and then the rest is going to be, so take a look at, so over here we have 1 2 3. So let's divide it into 3. So this is the first one. Okay, so I think still we need to reduce the font. If not, we have to shift this over here. All right, so select the live, select everything that you see, all the work, select everything, and then let's shift it here. Okay, and then let me pick this and then send it up a bit. Let me send this up. But when it comes to funeral poster, you need to be very careful. I mean, it takes time. For the funeral poster, it takes time. If you really know what you are doing, then select the shape as well and bring it up. Okay, I think this is okay. Then let's align it. Perfect. And then let me shift this down. Good. And then let me resize this. Let me bring this here, something like this. And then let me select this, bring it here. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to have something like this. All right, so there's the first one, and then the second and third. So now let me copy this, let me leave this there, and then let me remove this. Now let me take off all the lines, and then let me copy the Oba opinion. Okay, and then you can see that it is not on top of the shape, so let me bring it on top of the shape, and then change this to Monstrat. We are using Monstrat, and Monstrat we are going for bold, and change the color to white, and change the size to 18. So this is going to be funeral arrangement. I think S is part, yeah. And then I think we should have to go for extra bold here, and then let me bring it closer. Okay, so 18 is okay. I think the size is too big, so let me reduce it. Yeah, this is okay. Then let me reduce this again. Let me reduce this. Yeah, I think perfect. I'm having it. So this is okay. And then let me copy this again, and then let's go back to our resources. So the funeral arrangement, we have laying state and then the date. Copy everything here. So now let me go back. So we have laying in state, barrier up to family gathering. So let's copy everything. Laying in state. So let me copy it one after the other. Okay, so Control C to copy, and then come and change this to regular. Change the size to 16. Control plus to zoom to fit. Double click, and then paste. And then let's highlight the laying in state. Let's take our time. Okay, so I think the 16 is too big, so let's pick 14. Let me use 12. Basically 12 is the best. Okay, so yeah, I think 12 is okay. Yeah, let's see if we can use 11. Yeah, and then increase it. I think this is okay. And then let me highlight the laying state, and then change. So once you highlight the living in the line in states, okay, and then you come and pick the TT here to make it caps, and then change the font to, let me say, bold, or make it semi bold, and then we are changing the color to this one. Okay, so let's yeah, I think this is okay. Let's leave the color like this because we want the color to be different. Okay, so we are putting this. Let me bring it up a bit. Yeah, let's copy this again. This time round is going to be barrier service. Okay, Control C to copy, and let me copy the. So let me take my time. Let me copy the barrier first. Okay, and then let me position this. Very good. And then let me go back again. So you have to take your time when it comes to funeral poster. You need to really take your time, because if you don't take your time, by the time you are done with your work, you come out with a lot of mistakes. Okay, a lot of mistakes. So we are repeating the same thing. Okay, so you are doing the same thing. So this is going to be interment. Just take your time and do it. No rushing. Okay, you are not going to. You just take your time. Exactly. So you are doing it again in that order. After that, we will align everything. So this is going to be funeral rites, and then the next one is going to be the dates. So you take your time and do copy and paste, because everything is going to be copy and paste. Everything is going to be copy and paste. Okay, so let's go back. So Thanksgiving, the same. Okay, so this is going to be alright. Copy this, bring it somewhere here. Let me position this here. Just take your time, just as I've always been saying. So if you take a look at the Thanksgiving service, is quite long. Okay, so just take your time and then do the right thing. I think this is okay. And then the last part is the family gathering. Let's take our time. So let's select the family gathering. Okay, and then go back again. Yeah. Okay, so double click. This is going to be the family gathering. So yeah, so let me go over and then align it here. Perfect. So let me select everything here and align them. So yeah, perfect. Now let me reduce this shape a bit. Great. And then let me expand this. Good. So that the family gathering will come down a bit, so the spacing would be reasonable enough. Yeah, so I think this is okay. Yeah, let me shift this up a bit, and then let me expand this again. All right, so that's it. Just take your time when it comes to. That's why I said you don't joke with funeral posters. Okay, you have to take your time and make sure that you are doing the right thing. Okay, just make sure that everything is aligned. Yeah, so that's it. So we are done with the first part. Now let me copy this again, and then so you could see that it is always on top. So let me bring this one down so that yeah, you see it. So this one will be friends. So let's go down. So friends, and all friends and sympathizers are cordially invited. Okay, so let's copy that one too. It's very, very important. Okay, and then come and paste it here. Invited. So we can even use exclamation mark on that. So let me then align it at the center. Yeah, so yeah, think, and then let me bring that one on top of the shape, and then bring them down. And then this, we are going to give this shadow. So just select this same rectangle, come to FX, go to drop a shadow and set it to 40, and make sure this is 10, and let's leave it to 8, and this let's set it to 2. Okay, so I think this, and then let's make this 10. All right, yes, I think this is okay. Yeah, I like it this way. All right, so that's it. So we are done. The next thing is we are bringing in the chief mourners, children and siblings, together with grandchildren and then the rest. Okay, so let's do that one. With the chief mourners, if you take a look at the introduction, that is where it started from, a life well lived. These names are also the same as the chief mourners. Okay, so the one, it ended at Akonkel. Okay, so let me go back to my document here. Okay, so I'm just going to copy the same thing. Okay, so let me scroll down up a bit, and then let's copy this same information. Okay, we are going to copy and bring it down, control minus, and then let me bring in my rulers just to separate what I'm doing. So I'll bring first one here, and then let me bring this one here as well. Okay, so let me copy this, control J to copy it, and then bring it down here. And then what I'm going to do is to double click and then edit. So I'm going to delete it to end at the Akonkel. After that, we will continue the edit. Okay, so exactly. And then I'm going to bring this here. Good. And then let me bring this one to here as well. And then let me scroll this down. Okay, so I'm going to have something like this. All right, so let me bring this up a bit, and then full stop, let me end it there. Let me also continue from here. I think there are some spaces that I need to check it out. Okay, yes, so let me take my time to fill in the entire space. Yeah, I think this is okay. Yeah, okay, so let me bring this one. Okay, I think this is okay for me. Yeah, let me reduce the font from, I think the font is 14, so let me reduce the font to 12. Yeah, I think 12 is okay. All right, and then let me bring in this ruler. Okay, so let me bring it somewhere, and then let me bring it down up a bit. Then I'm going to continue the chief mourners somewhere here. Okay, so I'm going to paste it somewhere, and then I'm going to highlight it, change the color. I'm going to pick this and change it to semi-bold, or let me pick bold. Okay, I want it to be very bold. I think this is okay, and let me bring this here. Perfect, and then let me shift it up. Okay, so something like this is okay. And then the next is children, so I'm going to copy everything here and then end it in Accra. Okay, just as you have it here. So what we have is children and then siblings. So let's do that. I'm going to copy this again, and this is going to, so I'm going to start from here. So I'm going to highlight everything here and then paste it. Okay, so let me go back. Okay, and I'm going to highlight this again, change the color and pick bold, and then let me close this. Yeah, and then let me do the editing because there is too much spacing in there, and then bring this one to somewhere here. Okay, so just take your time and do the editing very well. It's very, very important. Yeah, so this is okay, and then let me close this up. Great. So the last one is the siblings. So let's go back. So let me select and then select the chief model and shift it up a bit so that there would be some space down there, and then align this. Good. And then let me go back to my document, and then with the siblings. The siblings are not that much. Okay, yeah, so that's it. Copy it and bring it to Photoshop. Here we go. So I'm going to delete this, highlight everything and paste it there. No, let me go to control. So let me delete everything here, then paste it. Good. And then click OK to accept, bring it down, double click, highlight it, change it to bold. Now over here, one advice that I can give you is to please take your time and do it. Just take your time, okay? Don't be in a rush, because this is the important aspect of the brochure. The details, they are very, very important. If one person's name is missing, you are going to be in trouble, okay? Yeah, so let me bring it down, and then bring the children too down a bit. Then let me bring this down as well. So here we go. So the last part that we are going to bring is the grandchildren, great-grandchildren, as well as the dressing code. Okay, so let's do that. So let's start with grandchildren. So let's go to our documents and then copy grandchildren, or better still, we can even copy everything. Okay, let's copy grandchildren together with up to in-laws. Okay, so let me copy it and then come to my, then we are going to copy this as well, Control plus, so that we will have a clear look at whatever that we are doing. So let me clear everything, then change the color to black, then paste it. So which means that I'm going to have everything. So I'm going to space them out, nephews. Good. Yeah, good. So this is what I'm going to bring this somewhere here. Okay, so this is what you're going to get, and then I'm going to highlight the grandchildren as usual, pick bold and change the color, pick this, and then pick the great-grandchildren as well, and then pick this color, and let's pick bold. Let me pick the nephews and niece, pick bold, change the color to this. Okay, and then in-laws. Now one advice thing that I can give you is that anytime you are designing funeral brochures or funeral posters, make sure you have your details typed like in a Word format. The reason is that when they are in Word format, they become so easy. So let me pick this. Yeah, okay, yeah, so that's, yeah, let me try to arrange everything here. Okay, and then yeah, I think this is okay. I think this is fine. And then what we are going to do next is to bring in the dress code. Okay, dress code. The dress code is very, very important. So I'm going to pick my shape, change the fill color to this, and then let me write it something like this. Okay, so then go for my text tool. When you are done, we don't need the properties, and then yes, let me pick bold, and then let me type not on top of this, so let me type dress code, then okay. Now you could see that you are not seeing it, so it is here. Let me bring it on top of this, and then let me change it to extra bold. I think the extra bold is quite okay, and then let me increase the size to 16. 16 is quite big, so let me pick 14. Yeah, then let me select everything here and bring it up, and then align it here. And then now I'm going to copy this again, Ctrl J to copy, change the color to black, and this is going to be my dressing code. So the dressing code is Saturday black or red, Sunday black and white. So this is going to be bold, and this is going to be Saturday, it's going to be black or red, and then Sunday is going to be black and white. Let's pick 12. 12 is even too big, so 11 is quite okay. And then let me select this. Let me select the Saturday here. Select the children. No, let me make sure that you select the and then you pick the Saturday as well, and then align it at the center. So this is what you are going to get. Now you could see that, let me zoom to face. Yes, so you have some. Let me take off the rulers so that we have a clear look at our design. Okay, so yeah, let me shift this. Let me pick children and siblings. Let me shift it here a bit. Okay, yeah, and then let me I think okay, and then let me shift this. Yeah. So yeah, that is it. So you could see the beauty of our work. Let me zoom in. The beauty of our work is coming up. Okay, yeah, so that is when you have all the details. So what is left is for us to bring in the young picture, this one. So let's go back to our resources, and then we are bringing in this frame. Okay, then reduce the frame somewhere here. It looks too big, so let me reduce the frame. Let me zoom in so that we have a clear look at what we are doing, and then double click to accept. Select your shape tool, and then draw the shape on top of it, and then go and select your move tool. We don't need the property. Bring the shape under the frame, go back to your resource and bring in the young picture, then reduce the size, and then make sure that it fits in. Double click to accept, and then create a clipping mask, which we know how to do it already. Then I'm going to select the image. I'm going to select the shape together with that of the frame. Ctrl E to image. Go back to my resource again, and then now I'm bringing in this flower. Then the flower is going to be on top of the frame. Let me reduce the flower. Okay, so that I'll have something like this. So let's go back to our work, and then you could see that I just bring your cursor closer to the image and then try to, slide it a bit, and there you go. Control 0 to fit, and you have something like this, which looks so beautiful and very simple. Okay, yeah. So imagine if you want to bring Bishop's image, the same thing that you are going to get. So let me bring in Bishop's image. Let me resize it. Any image at all fits. Okay, then with images like this, you rasterize, select your eraser tool, increase the brush, and then you brush some parts of the image off. Okay, so that you have something like this, which looks good. And then sometimes you can bring it here and increase it. Any image at all, you are good to go. Okay, any image at all. So when you are done, please don't forget to save your work. This looks so beautiful. I mean, the video is long, but it's worth it. Please take your time, and I believe that you will learn something out of this video. Save your work, go to File, Export, or you can use Save a Copy. Okay, save a copy, and then change from the Save As type to JPEG. Make sure that you save it to, we have already named this, so let me save it, and then let's go back to our resources to have a look at it. Always make sure that it is baseline standard. The quality is always 12, and there you go, you are done saving. Let's go back to our resources, and this is the image. So let's close the original one, and this is the work that we did. So this looks so simple, and please take your time, make sure that you watch the video, and I believe that by the end of this video you are going to learn something. Let me see you in the next video. Bye.